So we'll go with your ideas on it. They go through the specials in the list order. So Sheila first, which is the Tantrum Gun. I need to find my stats for it, don't I? That probably should have been a smart idea to bring up. I'll just go to my tier list video and then just use that because I don't have the originals anymore.
Yeah, what kind of stats? Is it just damage and ammo count? I think what you're looking at?
It's like damage, ammo count, range, and what it whammies with, I believe.
Okay.
Which is...
Yeah.
I think most of the stuff of what you consider with a special.
Yeah, it's funny. What it whammies with was the last thing. I really didn't factor much into it when I was designing the weapons. But like I used the same system where all specials do the same damage, and then I'd modify, like divide it by ammo count,
yeah,
and then modify it by range and seeking. So if it was Garbage Man, then he's going to do a ton of damage.
Yeah. So the Tantrum Gun damage was I rated at F, obviously because it has S tier ammo at 50. I think the only special in the game where you can be full just from 2 boxes. And the range was like a C to... Yeah, C. That's right. The lower the ranking, the shorter the range. I remember now. And it whammies with... Actually does whammy with mines, but that's a bit tricky to do with. But it whammies with the standard weapons. So cannon, rockets, missiles, and mortars.
Yeah, it whammies pretty fucking well with combos like the Missile Swarm.
Yeah,
like,
yes, it's one of the standouts with Missile Swarm.
Yeah. It can get a 3x whammy just by spamming the special button without whamming, without switching to any other weapon.
Yeah,
actually,
it also works well with the Stampede rockets. If you can get that working, you can get a really high whammy on it. You can also whammy it with hover mines too.
Like that was something I didn't consider in the past was hover mines, but I think the synergy video shows that off pretty well. I completely forgot about that too.
I think it whammies with everything pretty well except
Flamethrower, but that's because Flamethrower is fucking stupid.
I'm sorry. We were looking for one more weapon. I was just like, yeah, I'll let Flamethrower. And I was just like...
Well, the Flamethrower does technically whammy with certain things, but not really. It goes well with certain specials, but we'll get to that.
The Flamethrower is actually like a fantastic weapon when it comes to being defensive, which is important for multiplayer and survival, because you can delete other projectiles with the Flamethrower, and you can use the firewall to destroy projectiles coming from behind you. And you can, and in multiplayer, if somebody is like coming at you, like beelining for you, you can just move backwards while using the Flamethrower, and that will delete every single one of the projectiles while dealing decent damage, because the Flamethrower does deal okay damage by itself.
It does. I wish the oil slick was a little bit better, but I was struggling for combos. Okay, so sorry.
So Sheila's gun, Tantrum Gun, which is basically a bruiser cannon but better. I did like the defensive capabilities on it that I'm pretty sure were intentionally added because she's tiny. AE, the knockback, the knocking off the weapons, which is super fucking annoying, but also really fun to abuse. Like I did.
And also destroying projectiles too.
Yeah, destroying projectiles. Like it's really good against Boogie. Like I'll just whammy spammy and all of his projectiles are dead, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're correct. The pushback was intentional for defensive purposes because you would get like a convoy or a G-man and they would pin you up against a wall, and you were just screwed at that point as they just unloaded. So we added a lot of force onto that. The stripping of the weapons, we just carried over from Houston from the first one.
That's right. I forget she does that. She also strips off power-ups, but Team Fast, I think, got that upgrade in Second Offense.
Yeah, we carried over a lot of code just to save time. But Houston's weapon was the beast. Like, it went through walls. It could penetrate multiple cars if they were lined up. It stripped off their weapons and their power-ups. Like, Houston got the best special, in my opinion, in both games.
Well,
Yeah.
Houston
Oh, yeah.
3 was really good, but then you added Y, which was just Houston 3 special with double damage. So I think that's debatable on who has the best special in the first game.
I don't consider Y.
I gave Y specifically his own tier because he's that busted.
He's a joke character.
Yeah,
Special
pretty
character.
much. He's the Akuma of the original Vigilante 8. But,
the
right,
Tantrum Gun,
where do we rank the
I think
Tantrum Gun?
I would give it a B.
B?
Like,
I think
unless
that's...
if we don't have an S tier, I would give it a B. If we have an A tier, I would give it low A. Personally,
We'll go from D to S.
D to S.
Yeah.
Okay, so another defensive, like not exactly defensive. It's another offensive application of the weapon. Like every single map has like invisible walls. You can basically pin someone against the invisible walls with a special, especially in online. It's pretty strong because you will knock them into the invisible wall, which will knock them back to you, and then they get knocked back into the invisible wall. And unless they have something like an interceptor to either boost away
Or
Halo
use
decoy. Or Halo decoy, or something like a cannon in order to use a ricochet and destroy every single projectile and give themselves a small window to escape. They're just gonna stay stuck.
Yeah,
Unless
you're right. She can definitely pin people. Though it's definitely a gentle push. It's not like G-Man throwing somebody into a bunch of explosive crates.
Or John Torque
but-
fucking blasting you halfway across the map with a special.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about hers, though, is, like, if she whammies off of one of her specials, it's not that much of a boost, but if a crater maker, or, God forbid, you push someone across a cactus patch, those get the extra whammy damage, and it's death at that point.
Yeah.
But those, again, are highly situational, and generally only against AI. Like, players are generally not going to fall for that stuff.
unless you have a pretty good setup, like, and bait people into falling for that kind of stuff.
Like me,
it
because
can
I'm
happen
fucking stupid.
sometimes.
Yeah, you mean like dropping a cactus patch outside one of the teleportation tunnels and just wait there for somebody to
Something
come
like
out?
that. Something like that, and similar stuff.
Yeah, I'm in agreement for Tantrum Gun definitely being like high B tier, somewhere around there.
Either high B or low A. Something around these two.
I mean, that's originally, like, old me ranked it as the best in B tier, so it'll probably be somewhere around there in my view, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only real downside are low damage and its seeking, which every seeking weapon has a downside for fast-moving small cars. The radar jammer power-up, and then also Halo decoy. Like, once you have those, you're not going to touch it with a tantrum for a bit.
Yeah, but there's a lot of upsides, the high ammo count, the just defensiveness of it, stripping the weapons, high whammy, very high, probably one of the best whammy potentials out of any of the specials.
Yeah, for sure.
Easily. Alright, well that's her done. Now we can move on to the big brother JT. Where is JT in my list? I know I put his special pretty high up because it's a lot of fucking fun to use.
It is. Originally, that weapon, I was going to have it do more damage the longer it traveled. So if you could get...
Oh, if you could snipe someone, yeah.
If you could snipe someone, the damage is going to be insane. And then that combined with the lucky shot would have been instant death for anybody. I forgot why Adrian didn't put that in. I might not have told him in time. That might have been like, here's this great idea I have like 2 weeks before we're going gold. And he's just like, no.
You seem to have a lot of those, I've noticed, like, especially in the original V8. I was going to we're doing the facts and stuff, and 2 weeks before it or whatever, you're like, hey, let's make Y the alien. They're like, what? Oh, okay.
I mean, that's it with any game development, because you start off slow and you're just trying to get things done, but as you play with the game, and you're playing around and driving around the level and shooting stuff and picking up stuff, you're like, wouldn't it be cool if this happened here? And that usually happens very late in the development, once all the systems start getting in the mechanics. You're starting to see new ways of how they interact with each other, or could. So Yeah, it's late stage in games is usually where you're getting your best ideas, but you don't have time to do them anymore.
Sad.
So I definitely like Second Offense's JT over first V8 JT special a lot better.
Yeah.
Stats on it, I gave it S for damage, obviously. B for range, which I guess kind of makes sense because you can snipe from far away, but it's not tracking, so it's a bit half and half. And B for the ammo because 6 shots, which I think most specials are actually 3 shots, which will be a C ranking. And of course, whammies with cannon, rockets, and birds, and technically hover mines.
Yeah, very low whammy count potential though. You're gonna get like a 2 or 3x right out of that.
Yeah, I didn't put it with mortars due to the knockback. I mean, you can't technically get the mortar first, but that's not what we're looking at. So
yeah, it's
But it still works.
it still
especially
works,
if you
but
do
you're just
something
whammying the special itself, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
yeah.
But because of how much damage it has, if you properly set up a whammy so it's the last hit of something like a 3x whammy or even a 2x whammy, it's pretty fucking deadly.
Especially a supercharged shot that will OTK.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice order of operations puzzle. It's like, can I get a high enough whammy and then get that last shot in there and pray that it's the lucky shot that does the extra damage.
Also, another special that's really good with Missile Swarm. Like, it's just free whammies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, for sure. It's straight shot, so that's a slight disadvantage. At the same time, it's an advantage.
At the same time, it's an advantage, because shit like Nina and radar jammers and stuff like that just don't affect it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And when it comes to, like, once again, it has the same property that I've mentioned as Sheila's special, where you can keep knocking someone against invisible walls or any wall and just keep them pinned, and it's usually pretty strong. If you combat with a magnet mine or something like that, it's also pretty strong, and if it's against a wall, they will just stay stuck on the magnet mine and probably die.
Or you just throw them in the shit for fun.
Yeah, that's another complicated setup. The one big disadvantage of it's not turreted like Sheila, so sometimes on bump you can shoot above or below somebody at that point with the shot itself. So not great on rough terrain unless it's you're point blank. If you're point blank, then there's really no downsides to it at that point.
Yeah, if you're point blank, I don't think any special has really a downside.
Convoy maybe.
Except for convoys.
Yeah, okay, except for Convoy. He's the exception to the rule.
Well, also Padre, maybe Bobo if there's like you hit a bump and suddenly you just let go.
Fuck it. Well, yeah, Bobo's special annoys me for a very specific reason, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So
Yeah.
But yeah, JT Wheel of Fortune's definitely an A-tier special. In my view, but that's just because it's really fun. I might rank it lower because of, I don't know.
I would put it as A minus.
Yeah,
just
I'd have to agree with that.
Low A tier, yeah.
Not turreted, straight shot. Yeah, I think that sounds about right to me.
Oh, geez, old me ranked it as the 4th best special. That's definitely wrong. Might be a little bit lower than that. We'll see.
For speedrunning, it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I mean,
nice.
The amount of meme videos I've made purely with JT special, I think I've lost track of at this point, so... There's definitely, I have a lot of favoritism towards this special.
I am surprised you like this special so much. It was...
I hated it originally because it's a knockback special, and old me used to hate knockback specials because of whammy spammy, but now it's like, it's just fun, I don't give a shit.
To me, there was like nothing special about it, and I was trying to figure out what... Because JT... special was like a showcase for the shockwave across the ground, which was pretty new tech. But that shockwave knocked you out of the damaging shockwave ring, that little blue one that you saw. That's why it did shit damage. So we decided to scrap that and make a new one at the kind of and that was the only thing I could come up with. Is like Peter's just like, come up with something gambling themed, and I was like, okay. And I was just like, Wheel of Fortune. Occasionally you get lucky. Yeah, it was Russian roulette plus Wheel of Fortune and then I made it a silver bullet for some reason, and I don't remember why. There was some kind of hidden meaning in there. And
yes, gambling and vampire hunting.
That's right.
Alrighty, what do we got next? Team Fast, I believe. I know I ranked them. I think I'm pretty sure I ranked them. Yeah, as the second best special in my original video.
Yeah, Team Fast
is for multiplayer. Not for multiplayer.
Yeah, it's funny because the original stats on this are wrong. I think damage was A, but that's only because of the self whammies that were never supposed to happen in the first place.
Yeah.
Range is an S, which is a fucking lie. It's probably more like an A or B, because it just has a timer on it. Ammo is C, like everyone else, has 3 shots, and whammies with pretty much all the standard weapons.
It's kind of hard to time the whammy, but it does. But, like, even though I said that for multiplayer it's not that good, it's still good because when it's multiplayer, there's fighting people, hopefully, right? And it pressures you. Like, if you hear that, you're gonna have to move, and if you stop to fight someone, you will be under that mental pressure that, oh, where are the missiles? Are they going for me? Are they going for somebody else? I don't know.
It's like the Padre effect. Like, every time I hear Padre special, I will gun it every single time, so, yeah.
Yeah, just imagine if we didn't have a warning sound effect on it. It just come out of the board.
Just fireworks just randomly just screwing you over.
That was like just to go on a design tangent. That was like is we always wanted to give you warning that something was happening, even if you couldn't see it. So
yeah,
you definitely get that oh shit I need to do something moment like Zante is describing, where it's just like you hear the fireworks, you're just like, oh fuck, like I gotta do something now.
Oh hey, I got some cool skis now. I can move around the level. Oh, and they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right about the special. It's really good. It's almost never gonna hit terrain because it handles like a mortar. It goes up. Then at that point it starts seeking. So it's nothing's gonna get between you and it unless you're inside a building.
Yeah.
The self-whamming damage, as you pointed out, is only an artifact of the fact we couldn't get 3 motorcycles in there, each with their own missiles. So that turned out to be stupid broken, because if we didn't have that, we had a very like a single motorcycle light vehicle, no health, and a shitty special. So we had to make it self-whammy.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes Team Fast viable, I think, in my eyes, was their special. That's what made them a lot of fun.
That now makes me wonder with the self-whammy, I wonder how high their whammy potential is with other weapons at this point. You know, Zante was pointing out that because there's such a delay and it has to seek over time, that's really hard to do it.
Yeah, I think Rashid took over for the synergy part for Team Fast, and I noticed he had quite a lot of trouble trying to get the timing down for a lot of it.
Yeah, but suppose you could follow it with a mortar combo because they have similar trajectory, even though I think the Team Fast special is slower. So it would be fire that, wait a second or two, do the mortar combo, and then try to drive up with a missile swarm. Maybe you could get something pretty high out of it. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's A+ or low S tier.
Well, yeah, originally, I ranked it as second best, but I definitely need to bring that down to, I'd say probably low A tier, maybe.
I would still give it A+, because it's excellent for speedrunning, because shit just dies. It's pretty good for survival. It's pretty good for survival because it complements the game plan of the character, where you have to keep moving, you can't stand still, and it kills people from far away, and that's what you need happening as the character.
Yeah. Semi-far away. I misjudged the range the first time around, but it's got a decent range.
It's definitely a good fire and forget weapon.
Fire and forget, yeah.
Whether you're being aggressive or defensive, I'm going to run away from Zante and I'm just going to spam this thing, and chase me all you want because you're going to be taking hits the whole way.
Or the other way around, where me and you were in Ghost Town and I was sitting up the top just spamming the rockets at you and you're trying to run away.
I was so sad by that. like a fool, I had the hover mods on and was just flipping endlessly underneath that bridge as you were just savaging me.
All right, yeah, somewhere in the A tier, I think we'll probably
because it tracks. You can use shit like Halo decoy as well, even offensively or defensively against the special. So like if you're English, if you're chasing fast and he used the special, you can use a Halo decoy or just use the boost, because they're not gonna turn away. They're not gonna angle themselves and turn enough to.
Yeah, the tracking of them's not fantastic. Like you can pretty easily avoid them.
Yeah, so
but that's the only. Go on.
So sorry, the criteria. It's got range. It's got decent range. It's got seeking. It's self whammies, which puts it in a whole new category by itself. It's fire and forget. It's not a straight fire seeking. Like, you know, by that I mean like a missile that's going to be blocked by a building or a tree very easily, or another car. So yeah, it's up there. It's definitely up there.
Yeah, I would give it A+.
Yeah, well, let's say somewhere in A tier, definitely.
Because it's not Houston, which is next, right?
Yes, actually, it is Houston. Which, funny enough, I ranked. Where did I rank Houston? I know I ranked Houston Special pretty low, I think. Oh, geez, where is it? Oh, it's in here somewhere. Oh, there it is, way down in B tier.
Where you're drunk?
This video's like 2019, okay? Okay, yeah, I ranked it 9 overall, at 30, like, middle of the pack was the Toe Twister. But that was before, like, I realized it go through shields and all the other bullshit you can do with it, so this was definitely a while ago. What do we got for stats here? Okay, the Toe Twister, B damage, which can sort of fluctuate depending on how fast you're going, but if you can maximize it, it's about a B. C range, which is, yeah, because I think D and F is like sort of point blank. Ammo B, because it gets 6, similar to JT. And whammies with everything except, well, yeah, except mortars and flamethrower.
Hold on one second. I'm answering work real quick, sorry. I'm at the tail end of my workday. Well, that's not how you spell inspiration at all.
Regarding Houston Special.
We're talking Houston? Yeah, Houston. Okay.
Yeah,
we're
the Toe Twister, yeah.
Regarding her special, I'm gonna just send a video. If it's already timestamped, if you wanna add the timestamp to the argument, feel free. Later on, when you're editing the video or something, feel free to use the footage. But
is this the?
I don't think.
Oh yeah, it was this one. Yeah. The Toe Twister buckshot combo, which is something I used against Dave. I actually have a clip of me using that against him as well, funny enough. Yeah, that was something I didn't consider back in 2019.
It's grotesque, yeah.
Buckshot, Cactus Patch, Afterburner, hell, even Stampede is like good with it. Oh, and what was the really stupid one? The Cowpuncher, where it's like one of those paddle toys.
Yeah. The Houston's is interesting. I would put that at low S tier, and some of it is due to the bugginess of it. Like, it was never meant to go through a shield, and it was supposed to be confused by the radar jammer power up. So that was supposed to be effective, including the Halo decoy, which it ignores all of those, and it just doesn't matter at that point. So those are bugs that pushed it into that tier.
Wait, it goes through Halo decoys as well?
Uh-huh.
It's not fooled by them.
Damn, it just doesn't care. Wow, holy shit.
It doesn't fucking care. It's just like fucking Clyde special.
Okay, yeah, I'm convinced it's it's definitely like high A, maybe low S tier. We'll see who else. I know one other person's going to make it to S.
Yeah, Houston Special is the honey badger of specials, really. It doesn't care. Like, it's just going to eat you alive.
So go on.
So I'm trying to think of the criteria. So it seeks out the enemy in a close radius. Range is not the best. So that,
but it's a guaranteed hit within that range anyway.
It's pretty much a guaranteed hit.
And the character is tanky enough to stand being close to other people, so...
Exactly.
Yeah, Houston has the stats to complement the special, which we'll get into once we hit the second half of the tier list.
Yeah, she was definitely designed for drive-bys. Her ability to fling cars, too, at the end of the special, if they live, is also pretty handy. And it's very situational, but if you kill somebody, you can force at somebody and still cause damage to them with that.
I've done that with G-Man in the past. I've thrown a corpse and like bonked a Baki on the head.
It's not much damage, but I think it does a little bit.
No, it's not much, but it's still pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a good time. What are the limitations of it? It's just
goes through shoots.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't really have much limitations aside from the range.
The limitation is the range.
Yeah.
It's extremely disruptive too. Like even if you're like you get close to her, you're getting hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so in our Discord we have soft bans for 3 characters because of their specials, and Houston is one of them.
Yeah, it was Houston, Chase,
Clyde, and Chase.
That's right. Yeah.
We have soft bans for in order to, like, you know, it's a multiplayer game. More than one people needs to have fun. And if these characters are involved,
you're not going to be having a great time. No, yeah.
Unless it's an all Chase game or an all Houston game.
Yeah, you and I did Houston duels, which was pretty fun.
Yeah, she doesn't even have the downside like Bob O, where if you hit funky terrain, it detaches your target. She can literally get you on the other side. If she hooks you, she can go on the other side of a building and try to pull you through it for insane amount of damage because A, the rope is tight, which increases the damage, but B, you're also colliding with a collision object that's also causing damage.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's nuts. And then all the whammy potential are crazy. You guys were mentioning, like, drop a magnet mine and then hit afterburners and make the tow hook super tight, which is max damage at that point. That does stupid amount of damage. Drop mines, buckshots. Yeah,
just dropping regular mines behind you and driving them around the map. Like, I liked it a lot in speedrunning because it allowed me to multitask. Like, I can just grab a Baki and still go for the tombs and go get the special items. It's fantastic for multitasking. So yeah, I think definitely an S tier special. Now that I'm thinking about it, like the only downside is range. That's it.
Yeah, and the only thing it does not whammy. Well, actually, rockets.
No whammies with rockets.
You could hook somebody drive in reverse.
Mm.
Yeah, drive in reverse and use the stampede. That actually might be higher damage than the buckshot.
Not really. The buckshot is 6 shots. And you don't need to be moving in order to for it to whammy. Like, you can stand still.
Because the pulling damage goes in between each shot, but you need to actually be moving for it to full whammy.
Yeah, actually, rockets do more damage. That if it's hard, but if anybody pulled it off, a reversed stampede Houston would probably be one of the higher damage things in the game.
I know I did show it off in the Synergy video, but I'm pretty sure I was standing still. But like the pushback of the rockets was still enough for the tow hook to come into play.
God.
So it's still busted even while standing still. So
yeah, even the Roadrunner shoving somebody around while you're towing them does a lot of damage too. So.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, gee. It reminded me of the next special that's coming up with Roadrunners. Fucking Convoy. Oh man, Roadrunners with him is a meme. Where did I rank Convoy Special? That's a fucking mystery, isn't it? Where is it? Oh look, it's last. Unsurprisingly. Oh, we were all agreed for Houston, like S tier, I assume?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Just double checking. Okay, Convoy, time to go from the top to the bottom. Damage,
Uh,
F. Range, D. Ammo, B, because it's 6 shots like most other specials. Whammy potential is standard suspects, cannon, rockets, birds. Not flamethrower, not mortar, maybe mines, if you push them into them.
Yeah, that's extra hard for a big boy who's not very maneuverable. Yeah, poor Convoy. We didn't. I'm gonna blame Peter for that one because he stuck a trailer on Convoy for the second one without telling me, and I'm just like, where is Rolling Thunder gonna come from? and he's just like, well, we need to do specials anyway. And I was just like, cool.
Well, actually, the name got changed because the original one's a Steel Belter, but this one's Rolling Thunder.
Sorry. Steel Belter,
okay.
Right. I was like, where's Steel Belter going to come from? There's now a trailer over the top of it. So I came up with the idea of using the horns, but it suffered from the same thing as JT's, that because we're physics-based, the physic force would hit you and push you out of basically the extra rings behind it. Like, if you can pin somebody, it does significantly more. Because I think most of the time you're just being hit by one or two of his little sonic rings coming out, and that's it. But, that was never his strong suit. Like, he is mainly ramming and absorbing lots of damage. But, again, he probably still needs some help. But, yeah, I think you're right. F tier, he could whammy with mines.
Well, luckily for Convoy, we don't have an F tier, but we do have a D tier, which is usually where he spends most of his time in my tier list, the only exception being the original game.
I would give it a C, honestly.
I do think there's some upsides, yeah.
The upsides are, it goes through walls, and it doesn't track. Since it doesn't track, you can lead the shots, and if you're playing online, you can compensate for lag with that. And if somebody's running away from you and they're behind a wall, now you can hit them with the special because they're probably going to be on the adequate range for the special to actually hit. And when you knock them back like that, now they're probably now it's going to be easier for you to approach them. So it's good for catching people running away. You can also use it to defend yourself because it does destroy projectiles. As far as I remember.
Yeah, because you're not going to be outrunning the projectiles as Convoy, so...
Yeah.
No. So is there anything it doesn't combo with? Like, rockets, yeah, it could.
It's the usual suspects. It's cannon, rockets, and birds it will combo with. But the other three, not so much.
Yep.
So not mortars. Mines you could. I bet you could...
If you set it up, yeah, you technically could.
Yeah, because I suspect, and I'm sure Zante could confirm, but magnet mine, drive at them ramming speed, and then use the special at that point would probably make it hit for full force.
Oh yeah, you mean the thing you tried on me on Hoover Dam? That didn't work.
You killed me before I got there.
Yeah, I think that was just because of online shenanigans. I think that's the reason why I got the upper hand in that one, but...
No, I was being dumb. I thought I could actually ram you off, killed me before I got to you.
The one thing I do like about this special, just remembered, is denial. Denying someone weapons or specials what they're going for. Again, the online duels. I was just pushing you around as Clyde, and you just could not do anything.
Yep. Yeah. That's another strong point of it. Controlling people. It's one of the best tools for crowd control in the game.
Yeah.
Because you have 6 shots. The cooldown is decently low enough that you can spam it. You can do the same thing you do with Sheila and JT against the invisible walls map or even any wall and keep someone pinned there, especially if they're big. And yeah, it does have the most of his special's good points comes from multiplayer. On speedrun, it's bad because it has no fucking damage. And on survival, it's not that good either because you're gonna have if you plan on using the special in order to get yourself a wrench, you're gonna have to lower their health a lot, until they get to the point where you can actually kill them with the special. And but if you do that, you're gonna have to stand still. You're gonna take extra damage, and it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, it's a pain to set up. So yeah, most of its viability comes from multiplayer. So I do think a low C tier, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think a lot of the downside, too, is the fact that he can't turn very quickly to get it in position. I wonder if you stuck that special on Houston, if it might suddenly be better. Because you could really aim it at somebody and use it more positionally than you could with
I want to see it on shit like Team Fast. That'd be funny. Just this tiny little bike with truck horns that just blast you across the map.
Yeah, it would probably be a lot better on base V8. There's There's one piece of context where it's fixed, but let's leave it for another year, maybe.
Yeah. All right, you convinced me. I think it's probably a C to a low C tier.
Yeah, definitely probably bottom C tier. We'll get back to exact ordering later, but yeah. Oh yeah, that's the guy everyone forget about. Where is he?
Yeah. So what? No range, low damage, no seeking, low whammy potential. So yeah.
Well, honestly, no seeking I think is more of an upside rather than a downside.
Yeah, because of how it works.
Just because of how many tools there are to avoid seeking weapons.
Yeah. It is one of the few specials that has a good area damage to it outside of Padres.
Yeah, it's got a good AoE.
Because you could hit several cars with it.
Where the hell is Dave's Coltsman? There they are. Jesus, I ranked them fairly high.
On B8
Yeah, for some reason I ranked them as B tier. Like bottom B tier.
I have to agree with that, though.
Jeez, old me's... goddamn. So yeah, the Super Invasion Special with C damage, C ammo count, because it's 3, like most specials, and an A range. I was tempted to give it S, but I don't think it can hit from anywhere.
Nope, and in V8 opposed to V8-1.
Yeah, V8-1, I think it was different. It definitely was map-wise.
So, yeah, it was map-wide. You use it, and it spawns close to the enemy. On the second game,
it spawns to you.
It spawns to you and travels to the enemy.
Yeah, it's like chassis special.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now there's an idea. I wonder if I could use Dave's special with the, not blast fire, rapid fire. Because I did that with chassis special and it was actually pretty busted. I wonder how annoying Dave's special would be. I don't think I did it though because I kind of want to keep my ears intact.
God, you wouldn't be able to drive. If that hits you, you'd just be shoved around until you die. That would be awful. That would be so bad. Yeah, we basically took the first special, brought it over, and then modified it in a couple ways to try to make it not so annoying. And I think I told you the story. They were supposed to just basically hover around above the vehicle and fire down lasers so that they wouldn't block whammies. You could combo easier off of it, but we didn't have time to do that.
Which comes to the main point of why I hate this fucking special, is the whammy potential is garbage.
Yep, the whammy potential on the first one wasn't good either. It was, one way or, depending on what weapon you were using the combo, the first one was going to block it, and depending on what weapon and combo you can use in second offense, some weapon was going to be blocked by it. It was a no-win situation. I think I wanted to turn off collision on them with your weapons and just have them fire lasers at the dude. But we have what we have now, so combos are terrible.
Sad.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough, it will whammy with the standard suspects, but that's on the very rare occasion.
Since the saucers move in a different way and move and behave in a different way than they do in the first game, as we all know, they don't hit very consistently, but there is a trick to it. Apparently, maybe Goodwitch will be able to confirm this, but they also take into account their surroundings, and they try to stay away from walls. So, something that can be done is if you use the special on a target that's that one movie thing in Arizona, that one tight space between the movie thing and the projector.
The drive-through theater, yeah.
Yeah. So if you get somebody stuck in a space like that, with walls on both sides, the saucers are actually gonna stay really freaking close to their target and deal stupid damage. Like it's insane how much damage it actually deals. I somehow just got a 4 times whammy with the special by using the missile alarm. Okay. I'm playing the characters as we speak.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Discuss them.
Yeah, Missile Swarm is just good with pretty much every special except like a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Interesting. I don't remember that change going in. It just sounded like it made them respect collision, so they would basically bounce off of it. You sure that doesn't happen to the first one with the first Dave?
I haven't played V8 one as much as I played the second one, but I can screen share right now.
I think in the first one they come down from the top, and the second one they come from the. So if you got in a tight space and they're coming down from the top, it wouldn't have that behavior. So even if they both respected collision, so since they come from the sides and you're in a tight space in second offense, that means that they would hit more, even though they might be the same special. It's just the direction they're coming from. Yeah, that's interesting. If I'd known that, I would embrace that as a tactic and had more tight spaces.
So when it comes to multiplayer, it kind of has the same effect that Team Special has, but since it doesn't properly do damage, it doesn't terrify anyone. So
no, it just hurts your ears like the asshole that it is.
Okay, Goodrich, can you join the screen share real quick?
Yeah, I've got it open.
I mean Goodrich, because I want to show it to him too. I know he's not in the screen share yet. And somebody should get a recording of this. Okay, so something like this. Fucking police car. Okay. You see?
This is on medium, right? Or high?
This is on 89 high.
Okay. Jeez, that's half his health. That's disgusting.
Yeah. And the police car was being annoying.
Right. This makes sense.
Okay, it is probably not gonna work really well. But do you see how much closer they're sticking to him?
Yeah, they're trying not to
the impacts are a lot more common.
They're trying not to go through the walls, which is tightening it up. I think
just got myself stuck.
I think we did that because I think I remember we had a bug where the saucer could accidentally get inside a car and stay there and would hit it like 50 times. So we had it avoid going into collisions, I think, second, and that's why if you get them in tight spaces, it only moves a short distance away if there's a wall there. Like it's not going to try to go through the wall.
Yeah.
So it's good in one very specific circumstance. So if someone's picking Dave's Coltsman and you're going to Arizona, just stay away from the drive-thru.
Yeah, but basically, any place with like a tight wall like that, it can work. It probably also works inside a building in Pennsylvania on the ramp, specifically on the ramp.
Oh yeah, because the ramp's actually. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think
about that. The nice thing
either.
about the special though is it's like Convoy. It's a multi-target hit weapon. So if you magnet mine like 3 or 4 enemies, it'll smack all of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. It has no application. That trick has no application in California, basically. Let's see, Alaska, maybe between the 2 oil things, the circular things. I don't know what they're called.
No, there is that other thing, the green scaffolding that's near the refinery.
Oh yeah, that's true. Near the spawn point, right?
Yeah, near the spawn point. Yeah.
Yeah, that could also work. Minnesota, probably somewhere inside a factory, maybe. Who knows? Not anywhere else. Pennsylvania, I already mentioned it. Florida, not fucking nowhere. Louisiana, maybe inside the mansion?
If the warps aren't active yet. And the crypt as well. That also applies to the crypt.
Yeah, the crypt. It could also be in the explosive crate area in California. If it shoves them around in there and starts exploding crates on them.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's an upside for a lot of specials.
It is an upside for a lot of specials.
Utah.
This special also shoves you around a little bit too. It makes it difficult to aim and defend yourself. or drive away in some situations. So that's definitely a small perk this one has.
Yeah, for multiplayer. It is kind of disruptive when it hits. So it's annoying.
When is the big is the big modifier in that sentence.
Yeah.
I forget, do these guys block enemy fire too if they have something? I know they screw up your combos because they block some of your shot.
And they
Probably
throw off
don't-
your
they
aim,
probably
I think, is
don't.
the most important thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever really had them block my shots, or I just probably haven't noticed, but the
Yeah,
aim
I mean,
being the main thing they throw off.
Right, so good range, bad combo, damage is okay, and it disorients the player as a small perk. So
It's a
think
destructive
it's-
tool more than anything else,
I
yeah.
would
Yeah.
place it below Convoy.
I'm just saying it's
honestly.
D tier, just straight up.
Yeah. Sadly.
That's fine.
Sadly, yeah.
It's where he should have been in the original videos, but old me's a fucking moron, so... That's why we're doing this tier list, because old me's an idiot, so...
It does have the advantage of being a multi-hit. So
That too,
I
yeah.
would put it a D plus, C minus, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see what other specials go in D tier to see where it contends. And weirdly enough, the special I ranked directly above Dave is the next character. Dallas. Somehow. I don't know what old me's ordering was thinking, but... Probably
Dallas?
because it's a knockback special, and old me hates knockback specials.
Yeah, Dallas has a lot of utility. It whammies excellently with Stampede rockets, with Missile Swarm. You can basically whammy it with anything. You could shove somebody across a cactus patch and do insane amounts of damage. The fact that it goes through anything, and it's level wide once it's fired. You know, like when we were
Aircraft.
I was just about to say that. I couldn't hide anywhere, and
You couldn't even hide in the sky.
no, you shot me out of the air, bastard. I'll never forget that.
You won't actually, because I use it in literally every video intro.
Damn it. It's not fooled by any kind of jamming. It can be blocked by shields, but so can anything. You can hit multiple cars with it. And it's not really a downside because, once you start firing it, your turn, if you're not lined up right, your turn radius is shit. You're pretty much guaranteed to miss at that point if you missed in the first place. But other specials have that limitation. Honestly, to me, it is. I'm going to put it at like a bottom S tier, to be quite honest.
Well, the damage is definitely a B. The range I put is about C. Because it could technically be a B, but like at the end of the laser, it's not really useful. You sort of want to be like mid-range to like close range to actually use the laser. And the ammo, of course, is a C because it's 3 counts like most other specials. And standard whammy, potential, cannon, rockets, birds. Mines, maybe, if you can push them across.
There's one aspect that's pretty freaking bad, both for multiplayer and for survival, and it's the fact that you have to stay completely still to use it.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
It's like if you miss it on multiplayer, you're dead. If you miss it on survivor, you're taking a lot of damage that you shouldn't have taken if you were more careful or were using a better car.
Yeah.
Not that he's bad, of course, but that's one of the worst aspects of his special.
I see, yeah.
The best aspect of his special, if we ever do 100% runs, I think Dallas might be a viable contender purely because of objective B.
Yeah, yep. That's one of the best aspects. Like, if someone is somehow in multiplayer using a terrain for a defensive purpose, bye. Bye. So, and another kind of bad aspect of it, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't intended, is sometimes when you shoot it point blank, it just doesn't properly hit.
Yeah, it's like the hitbox. You have to hit like I think side on. I think because if you hit straight on, it just goes straight through them. I'm pretty sure.
No, it's that's due to frame rate. So if you're starting to get some slowdown in frames, if the projectile hits them in between a frame check or a collision call, it will think they're not there and it goes right through them. So that's straight
Cursed.
up a bug. Yes, it's cursed. So if you got a lot going on, explosions and everything, and you fire it, there's a chance it's just going to pass right through them without any damage. That was purely a bug.
Yeah, I know I had that happen a few times in the Synergy video.
Yeah, the nice thing, one of the upsides of the special itself, though, is you could push people into a lot of environmental hazards with it. So they're taking damage from that and this at the same time, and it's pretty rough. It can hit a bunch of cars at once if you trap them in a magnet mine. But you're right. Like, the biggest thing is we had to lock him in place when he's using a special, because we had to slow down everything that was hitting with. Because if it struck too many things at once, it would crash the game itself. So imagine if you were driving full speed and suddenly you flipped out and that laser's going everywhere. The game would have been over at that point. Like, it just would have froze. So
imagine spinning 360 degrees with that shit like extremely fast around the entire map.
It would have jacked everything up.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. This is one of my favorite weapons. I love it quite a bit. So I'm probably ready.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and it's not something that's done either in speedrunning or in survival. But in multiplayer, if you're playing in California and you drown someone with him and you have a lot of special, they're just gonna keep drowning over and over again, because you can just place yourself in front of the crane that pulls them from the water and just knock them back down again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few specials that do that, like GT, Convoy, G-Man, of course, is the big contender who we'll get to, and Dallas as well. Although Dallas does have a bit of a cooldown, though, so I don't know if it's... I think his cooldown might be longer than the crane, though. Unless you, like, push them out until the end of the laser and then they drop, then maybe you might be able to squeeze it in.
That's probably what's going to happen anyway, because if the laser does knock back, it's going to knock them back too far away, so...
Yeah, I don't know. It might be able to, but yeah, I actually have a clip of me pushing Klein into the water consistently as fucking Convoy, which was really stupid. But yeah, Dallas might be able to pull it off. But I think I don't know where to put him though.
I would place it middle A. It's not busted, but it's not bad either, and it has a lot of good usage. Just very specific weaknesses in regards to surviving in multiplayer and in survival.
Yeah, it's kind of like a glass cannon. It's a lot of offense, but not a lot of defense.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
low A, I'd say. Yeah,
I can go with low A.
Agreed.
All right, where is this fucking Mexican?
Bitch. Bitch.
I know. I put her pretty low. Yeah, there she is. Oh man, yeah, I was not forgiving for the lemming missile.
This fucking bullshit.
The only special with an S for its range, though.
High range, yeah.
But D for damage and C for ammo, because it's 3 like most everyone else. Standard whammy components, cannon, rockets, mortar, birds.
I would give it S for damage. You know why?
Why?
You know why? The mental damage caused from facing this fucking special in online.
If that was the case, I could put Dave's Coltsman at S just for the hearing damage.
Oh my god.
So yeah, my opinion on the lemming missile
is heavily skewed.
It's okay. So, it's not the damage that the whammy potential isn't terrible, because you can set up some whammies with it. It will hit with the usual contenders, but it's a bit slow.
It's a pain in the ass to get the whammy timing down. I do remember struggling when I timed the Synergy video. I think it took me 6 attempts to get 2 good clips just with the missile swarm alone.
Yeah,
but the strongest aspect of the special is not using it as offensive tool.
Yeah, it's a defensive
Surely
tool. Yeah.
not. It's 100% a defensive tool, both for online and for survival.
It's speedrunning, it's just ignored.
Yeah. There's no point in using it in speedrunning. So if you're playing survival and you're on a high kill count, there are going to be projectiles flying on your ass every single fucking second. Use the special, done. You're safe, you can kill people, and they also won't be able to hit you while the special is still live. In multiplayer, it has a similar usage. But in multiplayer, of course, it's not as effective because you can... In multiplayer, it's also important to properly select what weapons you're carrying, depending on what you're facing. And if you're facing Nina, you're going to be carrying bullseyes and flamethrowers.
Right.
Yeah, players are going to be smart enough to not use their tracking weapons. They're just going to swap to rockets or their non-tracking special or whatever.
In one of the earlier online matches, I was on 1v1 with a guy playing Nina. I was playing Chassis, and I ignored her special. I've ignored everything. I just picked, he used her special and beeline towards me. But I was carrying flames and bullseyes, and the flames deleted every single one of his projectiles, and the bullseyes dealt a lot of damage, so they basically ignored Nina's special. But that's that's proof of how good it is as a defensive tool. It forces everybody else to play in a different way if they want to even hit. And it's also a good tool for in online for killing people who are running away from you.
Yeah, it's good
Since
cross
it's
map
gonna
chip
hit.
damage. Yeah,
Yeah,
map
it's
wide
gonna
basically.
hit. So what some Nina players like to do, fucking bitches, is they keep running away the entire fucking match and just spamming the special, and there's not much you can do because Nina has decent speed, and the tracking weapons don't hit people who are gonna be moving at top speed. And hitting them with the non-tracking weapons is hard because of lag, but that's another issue that shouldn't even be taken into account. But yeah.
Think of it as local multiplayer rather than online.
Yeah, I'm thinking even thinking local multiplayer, it still forces everybody else to pick other weapons if they want to hit her at all. And in survival, it can extend your run a lot if you use it properly. But you're gonna have to use with her. You're gonna have to play you hit and run or drive by. You can't stand. You shouldn't be spending too much time standing still unless you've got the special out. If you got the special out, you can use the special and then whammy with bullseye and cannons and kill literally anything while the special is live.
Yeah, it's basically just a shittier creative maker. For damage-wise as well.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too because it was supposed to. Anything that was in the air was going to seek out the missile, and they were going to become your weapons, and then add to the whammy on top of it. So if you had a bunch of missiles and mortars fired by the enemy, you could fire them at, let's say, a convoy. They'd all follow it in and then whammy off of the main projectile at that point. That
does work. They will follow you, and that's a really good application, especially in open maps like Florida or Arizona, maybe even. But sadly, they don't whammy with the enemy's damage. So the enemy's projectile hitting is kind of underwhelming. And sometimes they since they're far away from the missile, the radar jamming property ends, and then they go back to wherever they were going before. So, but when it comes to both online and survival, in regards to that one trick you mentioned, another thing you can do is exactly that. You keep running away, you accumulate a lot of missiles and mortars, and you just use every single use a special and follow up with every one of the combos, because it's gonna make the missiles be even more consistent, because sometimes the missiles don't hit because they're flying low to the ground and bullshit happens. But since they're gonna follow the missile, they're gonna go high up in the air and then drop on someone, which is pretty strong. And it also, when in regards to being offensive, her special also negates the radar jammer pickup.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. Like, if you have an advantage with her, if you're winning in online or something, in multiplayer or something, it's pretty good for keeping the pressure and negating the defenses because of how it works. But if you're behind, if you're behind, you can use it defensively until you regen and get more weapons and shit. So matches with Nina, they tend to last a while, sadly. I have this. I think I had this 3-man match with a Nina that lasted, I think, 14 minutes because the last Nina player just they really like driving around.
And the big level. So it breaks down to long range, great for defensive purposes. If it hits, it will flip up the car a bit and make it difficult for them to drive. Ignores radar jamming and halos completely.
Because it itself is a radar jammer, basically, or a halo.
Yeah, the radar jammer is the halo. The halo is the code-wise is the Nina's missile. That was the quick and dirty way we made it, but it was really Nina's special was supposed to be you fire it up, everything basically follows that thing and becomes your projectile, and then all whammies together. So
yeah, it's the top of the food chain for decoys and stuff.
Pretty much,
but only that food chain, nothing else.
There's one property that I'm pretty sure Don loves, but we're all forgetting here, and I just used it because I'm playing her as we are talking about her. The auto-targeting bullshit. So if you want to kill someone, you use a special, and
and everything targets them. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. It ignores the auto-targeting.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. I was like, but down hate. I'm like, what? Oh, yeah, the auto-targeting bullshit that I have not stopped typing on about since I started speedrunning this game 4 years ago. Yeah, I forgot about that too. All right, well, that bumps it up to C tier, definitely.
Yeah.
I was tempted to go D tier, but just reminding me of that, like, yeah, I think it's definitely C.
I would give it C+. Because of the properties in online, in multiplayer and survival.
It has a lot of unusual applications. And I'm sure some we're not even thinking of. Like, I bet I could throw a bunch of hover mines everywhere and then fire that thing and then watch them all march like ants towards my enemy. Never tried that one, actually. I'm going to have to do that once I start playing again. Yeah, I agree. I think I put it C+.
Yeah, definitely somewhere in C tier we'll figure that one out. And now we go from Mexican lady to fat man, or fat boy.
Molo.
Good old Molo.
He definitely got a bump from the first game, I think.
Yeah, well, the first one, I think the damage was a lot higher because of how it stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the second one is definitely more defensive, because the damage I only ranked as a C for his smoke check, range is F, obviously, and ammo is A, because it's 40, so it's less than Sheila, but more than everybody else.
Yep, it's continuous damage, blocks attacks, which you can just, circle the wagons, basically. Just do a 360 with the special on it, and you're invulnerable for a second.
Yeah, we'll get to this later, but Molo's handbrake turn is really fucking good for no good reason. Which makes the special really good for defensive.
Yep.
And it's probably because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I was playing around, I was just like, I want to be able to do a 360, so I probably gave him a...
Is that the only reason why Molo's handbrake is really good? It's because of his special.
Yeah.
I always thought it was I thought it was a coding thing, like the wheelbase was into play or some shit like that, but no, it's just because, I coded it in because I wanted to do this.
No, they're all parameters. I could change anything I wanted. So I bumped them up so you can pull that trick.
Be whatever I want. Literally the Thanos meme.
Fuck. Although for the whammies, though, I pretty much crossed out everything. But I suppose it can with mines in very specific circumstances. But
So in regards to mines, go on.
It can with mines. I assume cannon shots too. If you're lucky with missile swarm, potentially, depending.
If the missile swarm hits first, because projectiles.
Yeah. Or you got a big vehicle that sticks out of the smoke and you're hitting it, but it's very situational. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, if you're hitting someone with Molo's special, chances are you're going to stick with using the special.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget, does flamethrower go through that particular thing? It's not a projectile that's easily destroyed.
I think flamethrower goes through smog, yeah.
I can check it right now.
You can check while we're just sitting here talking about the fat boy.
Because that's a good synergy of flamethrower out the front, smog check out the back as you're doing a 360.
Uh-huh.
You're basically one of those fireworks pinwheels.
So, in regards to that, it also complements with the fucking magnet mine, especially in multiplayer.
Yeah,
like
the magnet mine smog check is really strong.
Sometimes in multiplayer, a lot of players are going to be around the same area. If you're playing Molo and you manage to get multiple people in a magnet mine and you have the smog check, you don't even need the flamethrower, but if you do, props. I'll join the magnet mine pit and you spin while you do the special. It's over. People die.
Yeah,
it's over.
It's a combination too of the magnet mine also pulling you in, and you're doing ram damage on top of the check, so it's extra nasty.
I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me.
Yeah, pretty much. It would be an excellent meme is to do a magnet mine and just fly in there with a bunch of cars and say that.
But yeah, Molo's is definitely a lot of fun. One of the few specials that you can do by itself, obviously. One of the few characters that I've done the meme run special onlys with, so yeah. It's definitely a lot of fun.
I mean, he's offensive.
Being a defensive tool.
Yeah, sorry. He's offensive and defensive at the same time.
In regards to being a defensive tool, it's pretty fantastic for survival, especially on large open maps, because projectiles are going to be flying at you, and you'll just hit the special once, and that one cloud is probably going to delete a lot of shit.
Yeah, you just need to puff every now and again, and you're basically protected, because you're a big fucking target. Like, I think Molo's the easiest target to hit, because Convoy's trailer is annoying, and G-Man's more tall than he is long.
Yeah. G-Man, we'll get to him.
Yeah, so Molo is short range, excellent damage, good clip capacity, poor whammy potential except for magnet mine and maybe flamethrower, but that's like 2 out of everything. And good offensive, defensive.
Definitely an A tier.
I would give it a B. Okay, either high B or A tier.
A or B, all right.
Yeah,
high B.
High B, low A.
Yeah. B plus, A minus.
Maybe somewhere around there.
Great defensive capabilities.
Oh boy.
It also in online it can also deny people from reaching certain areas depending on where you use it. For example, if you want to kill a mole and they're inside of Minnesota, inside a fucking building and going up the ramp, if he uses a special, you're not going up the ramp. And now he can get
it's good area denial.
Yeah. You can use every single goodie that's up there and go back down and just eat away like the fat boy he is.
So, Clyde, good old chain lightning.
Good old chain lightning.
Definitely.
Bad.
I ranked it A for damage, which is weird. I think it's probably maybe a B.
By itself, it has bad damage.
Yeah, by itself, I think that might be why I gave it a high damage, is because of the disgusting whammy potential. Range is definitely a C. It's more or less about the same as Houston. And ammo is a D because you only get 2.
Thankfully.
But like a boogie, You hold them and stun them while they just have to sit there and take your damage along with everything else.
Yeah,
they can
like
hold,
the
they can
whammies
hold
with
multiple cars.
everything: cannon, rockets, birds, mortars, hover mines. If you're stupid enough, like Zante.
Yeah, I mean, or if you're exceptionally good / lucky, throw ricochet in there with when you're holding 3 cars in it, and it's going to do insane things.
Sadly, it doesn't. Because
sadly, it doesn't due to coding.
No.
The ricochet only deals damage on the first hit, and the special only deals damage to the first target properly.
That's
that's right. It does too.
True, actually. I know that it could be due to the collision check frame rate stuff, but in one of the online battles with you guys, I was taking the what was it, the sand lot from the first one. I took the elevator up. Somebody threw a single ricochet in there, and it killed me over time as I slowly traveled up. Each hit did damage from the bounce.
That's odd.
Like
That probably has to do with more with fucking terrain than with the ricochet itself. Because if the ricochet actually does damage, it's really low damage, almost unnoticeable. Honestly,
it is. It's supposed to do full damage on the first hit, and subsequent hits, it was supposed to have its damage. So eventually, it would get down to 1 point per hit. So I have a feeling it's traveling so fast, it's passing through the cars on a collision check at that point. Kind of like Slick Clyde's too, is for every car he held, the first car was supposed to do full damage, second was half, and third car was fourth damage. So the farther down the chain, the less damage it did to you, but I don't think that ever actually got in.
Clyde's also, because it's supposed to hit multiple targets, if you only hit one target, it automatically whammies as well.
Oh God!
Which I forgot about.
It does have that.
I forgot.
It does have that weird interaction. So sometimes, like, if you use a missile swarm while running at them, because of that, if you properly time the special usage with the moment the missiles hit, you can get, I think, ×7 whammy instead of ×6 because of the first whammy or something like that. I don't remember. It's been a while.
I'm gonna have to put in that fucking clip where you missile swarm, you run up to him, and then you missile swarm again with a special.
Yeah.
Yeah, the synergy video.
I remember that's true. The synergy video showed that the different amount of whammies going off.
But yeah, Clyde's special's really good with all the multi-hit stuff. So Stampede, Buckshot, Swarm, Crater Maker.
Does it do more damage if it's hitting one target?
Not exactly, but
I wish we could see the numbers on that. Because I'm curious about the whammy. I'm wondering if it's putting all 3 damage points on the one. If there's only one, and that's why it's doing all the whammies as opposed to being divided amongst 3 cars, where each one's getting a portion.
Yeah, but it only gets ×1 whammy. So even if you count on something like 3 cars, since he only gets ×1 whammy, there is still something wonky with that.
It's an enigma, that's for certain.
Someday I'll ask Adrian and see if he remembers.
But
so
because it's a bullshit and soft lock special, I definitely think it's like high A tier though.
S. Remember the soft ban list. He's there for a reason. You don't get to play the game in multiplayer if you're facing him. It
doesn't ignore everything though, like Houston's though, does it?
No, I don't think
it doesn't ignore everything, but he's tanky enough that you can survive people with a shield or something, and it does deny the Raider Jammer.
Yeah, I know it does deny that one. Yeah,
you can survive people with a shield in multiplayer for long enough to get it off and insta-kill them. What else? It puts huge pressure on everybody because nobody wants to get close to you unless they have a shield and are ready to kill you in one combo, because that's what they have to do if they're facing you, if you're playing Clyde. And in survival, it's also pretty good for getting kills, but it's not good for getting wrenches. So like
Yeah, 'cause
basically every special box is extra 2 kills.
Right. I forget, Zante. Can you get it off you with a Halo can with boogies?
No.
Or what's it's got you? It's got you.
So you can't use any weapons while you're stuck in Clyde's special. So the only way you can protect yourself with a Halo decoy or literally anything is if you use the Halo decoy beforehand.
Yeah, preemptively. Yeah.
Because then at least the cannons or whatever he's using are gonna target the Halo decoy, but the special will still hit you because it targets the closest car and not whatever is on his radar.
Right. Wow. You can't even use your weapons? What the hell was I thinking?
Yeah, I think most of the grab specials are like that.
You can't defend yourself at all during Clyde's special. It's complete bullshit.
I think
which is why
Clyde,
the
G-Man,
community
and
decided...
Babo all have the same problem because if it's a grab special, you can't do anything during it. I believe
You can defend yourself during Bobos.
Oh, it's Bobs.
Not
Okay.
G-Mans. You can defend yourself during Bobos.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember why we did it that way. I think it was just for simplicity because we would have to put special cases for what happens if somebody grabs you and you're a Baki and you can just use your special to get away. Are they still attached to you? Are they not attached to you? What happens if it's a lock special and I hit you with a cow puncher? Do we both go? Do I knock you away? And it would have been a bunch of extra. And so I think
and honestly,
yeah, actually, with Clyde's, it stores the momentum. It's similar to Chase's special that way, where if you hit him with Roadrunners or Cow Punchers, it stores momentum until the special's over.
It does. So you can do some pretty fucking silly shit with Roadrunners.
That sounds fantastic.
Not that it's useful because you're probably gonna wanna kill people, but it's still funny anyway.
Yeah, it's funny.
So
I think
else
it'll
in
definitely
regards-
S tier. It'll contend with Houston somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And in regards to keeping things simple and what you mentioned about Goodrich about what you had in your mind at the time, you probably didn't have online or something like that in the mind at the time. So honestly, I wouldn't blame you for making it the way it is. Because people are mostly gonna be facing the AI, and the AI is not gonna one-shot you with a combo. And one-shotting the AI with a combo feels good, so it's fine.
You are correct about that. Yeah, we didn't have to take those into consideration, but
they didn't exist at the time.
But I did want Adrian to put in the ability for them to use combos, and then put in like the best combos per each one for the AI. That would have been a completely different game if we'd gotten that.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, boy.
Getting buckshotted by fucking Clyde every single time. Like an AI Clyde. Oh, that'd be awful. It'd be hilarious, but...
It would be. We would have had to up the defenses and put at that point.
So now we're going to go from top to bottom. Oh, boy. Well, near bottom. Good old Rift Blade.
Rift Blade.
With B damage, B range, and a C ammo.
Right. It's a weird one. It seeks, but it doesn't seek that much. It's great for getting in and out of situations.
Yeah, it's a hit and run special.
I mean, you could close the gap with somebody real easy. It goes through everything, so that's kind of nice. Like, you could be on the other side of a building, hit somebody, turn around, hit them again on the way out, and then be on the back side of that building again. For max defenses, you can use it to avoid attacks, incoming attacks. It's got a lot of utility.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but only utility is the thing. It's funny because Obaki's special, I believe, is the only one that doesn't total.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Doesn't?
No.
It doesn't.
I've tried it. I think I remember doing it with every special. Obaki's is the only one that doesn't total. Even on rec states.
That's an oversight. Okay, that's a bug. What else was there about it?
I mean, it's disgusting if you can get a Crater Maker off, but that's on a rare occasion.
Yeah, it'll hit
It
multiple
also
cards, too.
whammies. It also whammies decently with the missile swarm.
Yeah.
Again, as does everything, unfortunately. But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also it whammies well, or doesn't whammy, but combos well with magnet mines, especially you get multiple cards in there. You can hit all of them at once if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot of
the
little
big-
things, but
The biggest thing about it for me is using it as a defensive tool, especially in multiplayer. I don't think you were recording when we discussed this, but he's the scout from TF2.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
because-
No, I wasn't recording. Yeah, you're able to pick your fights.
You're able to pick your fights, and even if you get stun locked by magnet mine or whatever, you can get out of the
Special
special
out,
and
yeah.
just restart the fight and go in whenever you feel safe to do it.
yeah.
Even though
Yeah, it's just a get out of jail free card, basically. And it's really good for...
Yeah.
You could zoop in and hit him with a bunch of weapons and then piss off again.
Uh-huh.
It's like, I'm going to shoot you in the back for like half damage and I'm going to piss off and go get more weapons. Bye.
Yeah, I
So
can see it as a-
in multiplayer, she's another card that extends the matches a lot.
Yeah.
The match ends when the Obaki player loses 75% of their brain health of their brain cells, or two, when the Obaki player eventually chips down everybody else and wins.
I forget.
There's no
Well,
middle ground.
does Obaki allow you to escape Houston? Houston
Yes.
special?
Yes,
Hmm.
you escape anything except for G-Man special. But if you're getting hit, by G-Man special as Obaki, it's on you. It's
Yeah.
on you.
Wait, will he escape SIDS also, or no?
You mean Clyde?
Sorry, Clyde.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
Sid Ang the Australian end of this game.
No.
So in multiplayer, Clyde is basically the counter up to Obaki, because since nobody can use anything during her special, he
Right.
can hit her with the special and just insta-kill her. And goodbye.
Yeah, because she's like the second lightest, right after Team Fast.
I don't know. It's medium range, medium damage, low whammy potential, amazing
But
escape, and
Yeah, it's a good,
yeah.
really good utility tool. Yeah.
It complements the character's gameplay really freaking well. I will give it a C for that.
Yeah,
Because
it
of
goes
the mess.
with the character. Yeah, it's definitely a C.
It doesn't carry the character. It doesn't deal a lot of damage. It doesn't whammy too well, but it goes really well with what the character needs to achieve.
Yeah, I could see a C, a C plus.
Alrighty, let's go from one lightweight to another. Where is he? Where's the fucking... Oh, that's right. I ranked his special as the best. It's up here. That's where it is. Old me's an idiot for thinking Disco Inferno is the best special ever, but here we are. Well, probably because of the
It's-
zero cooldown thing, and I was mostly using against AI, not really players, so there's a big difference there. But definitely B for damage, C for range. It's more or less about the same as Houston or Clyde or whatever that, and C ammo because it's 3 shots. Standard whammies, cannons, missiles, and mortars. Technically rockets, but that's only at the start.
Right, definitely not mines unless you're gonna trap them in a magnet mine. I don't know if a hover would reach you at the height of Disco Inferno or not.
No, it has the same problem as rockets do. It has to be at the start.
Yeah.
Right. It's easily confused. You can halo at any point. And
You can
get
just
out of
outrun
that.
it too.
You can outrun it. The upsides of it are it spins the player and basically prevents them from fighting back, which is kind of nice.
It has extremely good offensive potential.
Yeah, it's almost like a mini collide at that point. If you start getting them up in the air, it's like, yeah, okay, I can just whammy you for a shit ton of damage now. Good luck, kiddo.
Ton of whammies and in very situational uses. You magnet mine and get 2 or 3 cars in there, and as you're spinning one, that one car is whacking the other ones and causing damage to everybody. Although that's very situational. Yeah.
Also, I mentioned it earlier, the 0 cooldown is bullshit, but it still makes it good, I suppose.
Yeah, that's probably also a bug. I don't think it was ever meant. Nothing was meant to have a 0 cooldown. Like there should have.
It's not really 0, but like
it's not seconds. Technically a 0 cooldown, no, because with
I see.
Rapid fire, it definitely would be faster, but it feels like it has 0 cooldown.
But if it hits, when the enemy reaches the ground again from the knockback, it's already back up.
Yeah, it's ready to go again as soon as they hit the ground.
All right, you could juggle them basically through multiple specials, and it leaves them set up.
Hey kid, want to learn how to do a fucking infinite?
That video is fucking the guy is so angry while he's going at it too. It's fantastic.
But yeah, that's
anyway.
Basically, what ends up happening is you just juggle forever.
So in speedrunning, oh wait.
Oh yeah. Well, technically, you can make the speedrunning argument because his special is the same in the first game as it is in the second.
Yeah.
So for speedrunning. Well, because he hasn't got a quest in Second Offense. So, but in the original game and the pseudo speedrun, it's definitely very helpful and very useful, and one of the few characters you can special only with as well. So definitely A tier. Yeah.
So for definitely pretty good for speedrunning, going against AI in stages in order, really good. In multiplayer, it's good if you're facing a 3-year-old.
Or heavyweights.
Yeah, heavyweights is good.
Yeah, in tight spaces against heavyweights, with no shields and no ricochets and no halo decoys. Must I go on?
Yeah, there's a lot of counters due to like it being a tracking weapon, and Boogie, of course, is one of the main offenders to why Halo Decoy even exists in the first place.
Yeah.
So.
And when it comes to survival, it's so good, but it doesn't carry a run, and it also is pretty bad for totaling vehicles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you can get a lot of kills with it still.
Definitely low A then, probably.
Sadly, in survival, it doesn't go well with with what the character needs to do, which is hit and run and keep moving. Because if you keep moving with it, you're probably gonna miss a lot of the projectiles.
Yeah, you gotta sort of circle your opponent, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the character does help with that because of his high avoidance stat.
Yeah. It's got a high fun factor. You definitely mess with enemies quite a bit once you get them into it.
Uh-huh. I would put it on the middle of A. You were saying? I'm sorry?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Nah, I would put it on the middle of A. That's it.
Somewhere in A, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, okay, I was like, is there any more coyotes? But no, we did actually go through them all. So now we've only got the the drifters left. And I think Bob is the first of the drifters, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Yeah. He is.
I always get the drifter order fucked up. I don't know why. The first of 2 collector specials. The name got used twice for some reason.
So let's see. What does Bob O have? Short range.
F for range, definitely. D for damage, so obviously by itself, not including the whammy potential, which is disgusting. And B for ammo, because it has 6 shots. Which is a bit too much, but oh well.
Yep, and it strips off weapons, if I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of 2 that does it.
Not like it needs to, because all 3 weapons are getting stripped by this motherfucker.
So what the downsides are, it's easy to break out. Like you hit a divot, and suddenly it breaks you out of the special. The player can also fight back. You know, if you got a cannon, you could counter punch Bobo and have a pretty good chance of getting out of that thing.
Yeah, the main thing that pisses me off about this is Crater Maker holes specifically, because it's very common that Crater Maker, because Crater Maker goes at least decently well with a special, but if you go into a Crater Maker hole with his special, you're just gone. Like, they're already halfway across the map and out of your grip. It's like, oh, okay. Sad monkey noises.
Yeah, with the right weapons, the player can punish Bob right back. Not quite as much, but you can definitely cause some damage there. Mm-hmm. It's not confused by anything, so that's kind of good. It doesn't go through shields, which I think.
Well, but Halo Decoy can, on the rare occasion, help due to, like, you can't use the monkey meat shot combo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the base thing does as well. So.
Oh, Bob's goes through shields.
Yes, Bobo's special goes through shields.
I just did damage to Dusty while he had a shield with the special. So.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, but I forgot about it. Yeah, so the base thing goes through shields. But yeah, Halo Decoy can save you from a buckshot or a missile swarm, but it can't save you from stampedes or a cactus patch.
Right.
Even against buckshot or a missile swarm, if you position your target properly,
I suppose,
buckshot would still work anyway. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, yeah. Buckshot special is like disgusting with this character, as is like Houston.
Right, and his maneuverability means it's easier to grab people unlike G-Man, where you could just sail past.
Yeah.
I don't know.
G-Man buckshot is its own thing. That's for certain.
Yeah. It is a thing that exists, but in a completely different way, and with and not as strong, but still pretty strong.
Yeah.
So his special for speedrunning, pretty fantastic, pretty good damage. Kills people really fast. It allows you to multitask. For multiplayer, it depends on a lot of setup. It really depends on a lot of setup, and if you're facing Bob, you're not going to want to stay close to him, so you can basically change your playstyle in order to adapt to that. But that also makes him a counter to heavyweights and even G-Men, because if they both collide head-on, Bob wins for some cursed reason.
Oh, because he grabs faster. Yeah, what else? He can position players easily. You can pick him up and put him where you want, including in like the flames underneath NASA.
If I go down, I'm taking you with me.
I know, he's also single target though too. His special will only work on one card at a time. So I don't know.
But honestly, the worst context for his special is survival.
Yeah, because you're mostly going to be killing with the weapons, not with the special.
Right.
Yeah, and well, another issue is Bob is a lightweight, so he uses his special, he kills them, but then he takes a little bit of damage from the carcass and the car explosion if it's a heavyweight. So it doesn't really help much in survival.
Oops.
But yeah, it's definitely a dream in speedrunning. It's why my Bobo times are so good, is purely because his special's like fantastic. And probably would be useful in 100% as well, due to fucking Florida Objective B. That's why I used Bobo in that 100% video, purely because of fucking Florida's Objective B.
Alright, so he's got some utility that's interesting. Amazing damage potential. With whammies.
Bad range.
Bad range. Enemy positioning, single target, easily breakable, and enemies can retaliate.
Yeah, so I think like probably B, maybe.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Just because of the like, if it was only speedrunning, S. But since
that's why it's ranked so high in my original video. It's like 8 here, I think.
Since survival is also being taken into account, and multiplayer is also being taken into account,
yeah,
I would have to agree with the B.
Alright, now where's this other collector special? We'll go to his big brother. Good old G-Man. Actually, and his rival, too. I keep forgetting about that. Both the collectors are rivals.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
it's funny. We didn't have a story for G-Man when I added it. I was just like, I want a garbage truck in this game, and then Peter came up with the idea of making it White the Alien. And then I was also like, he put it, but then he wanted the NASA. He wanted the NASA probe card. I'm just like, well, we've sent monkeys to outer space, so let's actually make this a reveal where the character's a monkey. So, and then we got it cross-pollinated, and then he came up with the storyline two tied together, which is pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Although G-Man's stats are special, are pretty similar to Bobo's. Range is F, ammo is a B. The damage, however, is the big difference between the two, because if it's a slam, it's a B, and if it's an eat, it's like a C.
Right.
Let me change your mind in regards to if it's a slam, it's a B. If it's a slam, it's an S. You know why? It deals percentage amount.
Actually, yeah, that's right. It's more like an A.
Yeah. And it ignores Convoy's trailer.
Yeah, it's a very good anti-heavyweight tool. That's right.
Anti-Convoy, you ignore the trailer. He dies in 2 specials.
Yeah, right, because we did a special only run with him, that's right. And it was actually very viable due to that. Yeah, lightweights are more of a problem. That was I think that's the big reason why I had the damage that. But yeah, definitely like A or S for heavyweights and like a C for the lightweights.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'd like this special a lot more if they died inside G-Man, so it wasn't a pain in the ass to kill them afterwards, but...
Well, yeah, it's definitely an interesting special. Yeah, no range. You can position players really well with him.
Yeah, it's a great positioning tool.
More difficult for people coming out the ass end, but being able to throw cars in like explosive crates or across landmines, all that's pretty good stuff.
Or the obvious abuse of California cranes.
Yep.
California cranes. It's a great way for an auto land of.
Did he die? Or did he just stop talking?
It's dropping in and out.
Oh, am I dropping in and out?
A little bit, yeah.
You're cut mid-sentence, basically.
Oh,
you were saying?
Let me try something. Yeah, so he's a great auto use of cactus patch small cars.
Yeah.
So, like, they can't avoid it at that point. So he's got good positioning. He can throw big cars around at others, throw them into explosive things like that. He was supposed to be able to fire all kinds of weapons and hit the people he was slamming the entire time, but that didn't make it in, unfortunately. Otherwise, his whammy potential would be much bigger.
No, yeah, with the whammies, I mean, you can, as soon as they released, you can buckshot and just barely get a whammy, and it does a decent amount. If they come at the axe end, there's no whammy, but Crater Makers and Cactus Patches are both pretty good. I think I showed them off in the Synergy, but I might be wrong. Mm-hmm. And for throwing them into shit, funny you say that, I literally just finished, at time of recording, the G-Man video of me throwing Molo into stage hazards on every map. So throwing him into the plane on Airplane Graveyard, or the Avalanche, or the rocks on Canyonlands, fuck, that was fun.
Oh, the rocks on Canyonlands are brutal. They'll kill anything.
Yeah, they're really good. Like they insta-killed me too at one stage. I was like, oh shit, okay. Like, it's a lot of fun with environmental hazards, definitely.
Yeah, he's a good time there. He prevents the player from fighting back, so that's actually a plus in his favor there. In both sections, whether it's a small car or a big car. He's really hard to grab people, though. He's not as maneuverable as Bobo.
But since he's heavier, it's a lot harder to knock him back if he's coming straight at you and you're standing still. For example,
True.
Like you're picking something up and then you brake and you're turning around and then there's G-Man on top of you. It's hard to keep him away.
He can also come out of nowhere with a fucking missile swarm in Alaska.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
not a
an
missile
afterburner.
swarm, missile boost. Yeah, Afterburner. That's what I meant.
That was the most
just-
amazing flying steering. I
Just grabs you out of nowhere and scares the shit out of you.
I don't know.
Garbage man, garbage man jump scare.
I feel like he's a C, maybe a C plus. But you guys are better at the grading.
Well, in speed running, you can kind of multitask with it, but since it doesn't whammy, it's not going to insta-kill people, and that's kind of annoying for speed running. In multiplayer, it depends on the... Well, it's as good as the other player is dumb,
Yeah.
basically. Or requires a lot of stuff, like waiting in front of any teleporting device. And in survival, sadly, it's also not that good, because if you kill someone with the slam, if it's heavyweight, you're gonna get explosion damage, just like Bob, even though you can tank a little more. But the carcass damage is a lot more noticeable on him, for some reason. Like, they turn into a carcass, and you take a lot of damage from it, from the collision with the carcass during the special. It's a little bit weird.
No, that makes sense, because he's holding him into a closer. Normally, it would be pushed away from him, but since he's holding it right there, it's probably inside of him when it goes off, which means you're taking more damage. That makes sense. That's interesting.
So it slowly ships away at you, which is bad for survival. So yeah, I have to agree with a C.
Yeah, I think definitely somewhere in the C tier. Maybe in the high C's. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got now? Oh, yes, the fuckboy from the future.
S.
Where the fuck did I put this special? I actually, no, I think old me ranked it pretty low. Yeah, here it is, actually below G-Man's, funny enough.
Yeah, that makes sense. He is the ultimate fun weapon, for sure. I enjoy him quite a bit. You figured out you could whammy with cool.
Yeah, I think it was like at the start of 2021, I hit the special and then a rocket, and the rocket got the whammy damage because it was second. And I was like, oh, you can actually whammy with it. Very rarely, but yeah, old me was like very speedrunner focused, so that's why it's very lowly ranked, because you just don't use it at speedruns unless you're desperate.
Yeah,
I just see it as a waste of a weapon slot, really.
Yeah, it's mainly for fun. It was good for AI because you could do some really fun shit with it. And then that one stream you did, Zante, where I told you about, hitting with cow punchers and stacking road runners on it, and then watching it fly away like a balloon.
That one stream where I spent like an entire hour just messing around with save states and knockback. Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely F for damage, C for range, and F for ammo, actually, funny enough, because Chase is the only special that has one, I think.
Yeah, because it was annoying and we didn't want that happening.
I mean, I don't blame you, like, it's such a cunt of a fucking weapon. It's just, hey, you're not allowed to do anything, fuck you.
Alright, so let's see if I can bump it up a bit. It is a good defensive weapon in that it stops the enemy from attacking, and actually freezes projectiles and environmental attacks, which means you can also freeze people in environmental attacks like the flames, causing continuous damage.
I.e. Florida.
Right, it doesn't whammy, but it combos well with all the combos for the most part.
It makes combo setups really fucking easy because it's a still target, like Crater Maker stuff, basically.
Yeah. You can freeze someone and firewall them, and they're screwed.
Yeah, actually, that was in my Synergy video. I remember now that... Oh, shit, Bobo, too, is really good to firewall. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, yeah.
Bobo with firewall is, like, disgusting.
Yeah, that's gross. So...
But, yeah, Chase as well. Like, Chase with firewall was gross.
Yeah, Chase is good at controlling everything. So, he can freeze you and unload, or he can freeze you and run.
Yeah.
If
it's good
Nina
for any situation.
Any situation, like Team Fast, if you hear that rocket coming or you see it, fire your special, it'll stop in its tracks and just drive away.
Yeah.
So it has a lot of applications, but it's not great for dishing damage. Like,
Yeah,
on its own,
itself
no,
is-
but it allows you to deal a lot of damage outside of it, similar to Clyde's, which is why softlock. It's hey, you're not allowed to play the game.
yeah.
Special.
and because of that, and allied with his huge speed and good handling.
Yeah, I think he's like he probably has the best mobility because Abaki's like a bit of a cunt to control. So
Yeah, because of these of his mobility, you can just load up on cannons and bullseyes by driving around the map. For example, in multiplayer, you can just load up a lot of cannons and bullseyes, and whenever you feel like it, you go up to your opponent and you insta-kill them, and they can't even do anything, or if they don't manage to destroy your projectile, which they can if they use the machine gun or literally any projectile and destroy it. But if you're playing chase, you have the mobility and to place yourself in a way that you're still gonna get the projectile to go off.
yeah, you don't have to hit them
And
head on.
so,
you
yeah.
can just come around behind them or hit near them as well, and it still freezes.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you can also.
because of no.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna like conclude the argument for multiplayer. You can continue.
You can also have tremendous denial. Like if you see someone driving up about to pick up that health, freeze them and go take it yourself. Or shields or anything else. You can deny them much like Convoy can, except it probably stings a little bit more to be frozen there as you go up and take the health and then just unload them afterward.
You just take them in front of
Yeah.
them while they're frozen in time.
Yeah, because and since they're looking for health, they're probably low on health already, so they're gonna die.
Yeah, you can just walk up and delete them anyway. So yeah,
Yeah, you could
So-
actually keep someone from ever actually refilling ammo if you had enough of the specials. It would be unlikely.
thank God
you'd
he's
have
only
enough
got
to realize.
one.
I know. I have caused at least half health, or if not outright death, to players. Sorry, not players. AI. When playing a game where I froze them and stacked them up with cow punchers, and sent them into objects like buildings and things like that, because the impact is so great when they're released. It would almost kill them at some points, but that's very situational too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun with
Yeah.
with Count Puncher stuff like Convoy and GT and Clyde. There's
Yeah.
definitely a fun aspect to it as well, but yeah, big fuck you in multiplayer.
Yeah, and because of that, he's the third soft ban character by the community.
Yeah,
In survival, though, the special is not really that great. It nets you 1 kill.
Yeah, pretty much. And speedrunning, it's You
yeah,
can pretty much
it's
ignore it
like-
and just still be fine because Chase's mobility is disgusting. So
So even if survival doesn't buy you enough to go off and try to recover. No, because we start denying you wrenches at that point. Though you could get power-ups, though, pretty easily in survival.
Yeah,
it does
you're in trouble.
buy you some time, but yeah, like if you wanted to buy time, you just use Nina.
Medium range.
or you can also just keep driving because Chase is so fast.
Fast, it doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's S, but maybe A.
A, high A,
Yeah.
surely, because
Medium range.
it's not because it doesn't excel in 2 of the contexts,
Right.
which is
Speedrunning
speedrunning
and
and
survival.
survival.
Yeah, but it's really
Yeah.
good in multiplayer, so yeah, it bumps it up quite a lot. And that's excuse me, the main focus of the tier list is the multiplayer stuff with the survival and speedrunning on the sides.
Yeah. So low ammo count, medium range, low to no damage, very little whammy potential, but good offense, good defense, good crowd control, good trolling. Like,
Good damage stacker.
yeah, just a complete.
Easy whammy potential. Not with the special itself, but
Yeah, it maximizes weapons and environmental usage. So yeah, I think you guys are right.
now where's these fucking wife? There she is. A lot higher ranked, obviously. Good old Star Power.
Star power.
which I abused a
It's
lot
almost-
in the rapid fire, which was
It's-
hilarious.
It's also almost as annoying as, or maybe even more annoying than Nina's battle in multiplayer.
Yeah, in multiplayer, I've come to hate this fucking special when it's used against me. It's like, oh, so this is what I've been doing to the AI. But yeah, definitely a C for damage, B for range, and B for ammo because it gets 6 shots.
Right. Decent whammy
has-
potential.
Yeah, standard whammies, cannons, rockets, and birds, and hover mines.
Yeah.
I think the craters get cancelled out due to the beam, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. They
Yeah.
do.
I think there's a reason why I didn't put mortars on this list.
Yeah, that's another oversight. I wish we could have fixed that stuff. So she can hit multiple cars if you trap a bunch. Fake all of them. It's got good seeking. I forget what the range is. Is it level? No, it's not level wide.
No, it's the same as Dave's Coltsman. It comes from the player and seeks them out. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's like I said, B range.
There's a code reuse from Coltspin. What else does she do that's interesting?
The whammy potential is really easy because it's one of the multi-hit specials. And a lot of
Right.
multi-hit specials have really good whammy potential, so you can just sit there and missile swarm or combo cannon and rockets just spamming and the shit just dies.
Right.
Yeah,
and
since it
it's- oh, go ahead.
Since it has as much ammo as it does, and it deals decent damage, it ends up being good for survival in regards to getting yourself wrenches from totaling enemies, and it also complements her gameplay style, which comes from her a lot of speed.
Yeah.
All the speed she has, she can just drive by star power and keep running away until someone dies. And that's also
Right.
really pretty freaking strong for multiplayer because she's almost as strong as Obaki in regards to picking the fights he wants to be in. But I think she can be stronger than Obaki in regards to that because
She's stronger in a
Of her superior
head-on
handling.
fight, but she doesn't have a get-out-of-jail-free card.
yeah, and because of her handling too, like moving
she's
around is just
a lot easier.
So
Right.
a player can just stack up on a lot of specials since you do get 6 freaking ammo for some cursed reason.
Well,
They can stack up on specials and just keep orbiting around someone and just spamming their specials until they die.
Right.
well,
She applies
but the downside of that, though, is there's a very long cooldown. I'm pretty sure Chassis Special is like the longest cooldown of any special. Or very
Yeah.
close to it.
Of
Other
the
than
long range
Concrete.
seekers, hers seeks the best. Like it'll course correct continuously and stay on top of you. Right. It also has a burn to the player afterwards, so you get a dot at the end of it.
It doesn't.
I thought it lit them on fire.
Nope. It doesn't.
What?
Let me. I'm gonna just keep screen sharing because it might
Hell,
give
man.
y'all something to look at. Yeah.
I'm watching. I'm
It doesn't.
watching.
Yeah, it doesn't. It
No, but-
can light them on fire if with environmental stuff. So, like the things in Pennsylvania
Interesting.
or the oil in Alaska. I know it can light them on fire due to those, but yeah, on its own, it doesn't. It doesn't ignite.
Why? Okay. I will trust you guys. You've been spending way more time with this game than I have.
Unfortunately.
I'll get back into it very soon. That's interesting. I swear it used to light them on fire. I wonder if that's snuck into a particular version. I'll look. Cool. All right, that's good to know. So it doesn't do that. Yeah, her seeking's really good. It'll penetrate multiple vehicles too, so that's also pretty powerful.
It's really hilarious on rapid fire.
Oh, I bet.
Because if you just delete the one downside that it has, it's stupidly broken. Because it stays above them. So you just need to hit it. Yeah, you just hit it once, and then you just keep hitting it, and it just stays above them. Because it doesn't have enough time to get back to you.
Usually the laser weapons, I gave them some kind of extra special thing, like strip power-ups. Hers doesn't do that though?
No, I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
The damage.
It's just damage,
Yes. It's just pure damage. Okay.
Oh, shit, where are we going to put it, though?
I'll give it low A, honestly.
Yeah.
Because of the ammo count. The ammo count, some of the
Damage and whammy potential.
How well it, damage, whammy potential, survival, getting wrenches shit, and how good it tracks, how good it lasts, how much ammo it has. It's pretty consistent all the way around. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so definitely somewhere in A.
Yep.
Okay, almost done with specials. Got 2 more to go.
I know this might be a lot to ask, but can we maybe do the characters another day?
Yeah,
I
maybe.
need to be up in 5 hours.
Doing it all in one might be a bit much.
I need to be up in 5 hours, under 5 hours.
That sounds like a good idea. Given
Oh, geez, yeah, it's like already like 2 hours later. I'm surprised how long it took us
Yeah.
just to get through the specials. Where the fuck is Padre?
Yeah,
is
I'm
enjoyable,
also
though.
surprised. It is.
There he is.
But yes, I think for your sanity, that would be a good. Also, is coming soon, so it will
Thanks.
get noisy.
Yeah, I've already had my grandmother complaining, so.
Yeah, we'll find another
make-
day to do the characters themselves then.
Yeah, going on to Padre.
Oh, Padre.
To quote old me, the gates of hell never look so non-threatening. with a B damage if it hits directly and does ignite. S range because it's map wide because fuck you, and D ammo because it's 2 or 3. The only special in the game that does that.
That's interesting.
And whammies with mortars.
Yeah.
I have got it to whammy with other things, and it's
Well, you can. The interesting thing about Padre is you can stack the whammies with the special because the whammies don't take effect until you come out of the special.
yeah, it saves them. I did a stampede rocket, and right into the special at the end of it, and then I think I got like a times 3 or 4 off of it.
You can also use the interceptor boost before using the special, and it would last until after, like...
Yeah, until you come back out again, yeah.
Yeah,
come
you're
back
using
out.
my trick. That's how I'd fly away, so no one could punish me at the end.
Yeah, which is one of the downsides of the special in multiplayer. You're a sitting duck while after you use it, but
Yeah.
Right.
if you do this, you're safe.
Yeah,
Yeah, it has a lot of potential, is the main thing about it.
it does.
In multiplayer, it's also good for getting out of sticky situations.
Yeah.
Yep.
This also applies to survival. Like if you're surrounded and there's one AI that's really far away from everybody else, you can use it. It also takes the focus away from you because if the AI is like on your nose and you use the special, they're just gonna keep circling and they're gonna take damage because they're trying to stay close to you to continue dealing damage, but they're not gonna be able to because you're invincible. One of them is gonna take damage, and that might give you an edge or the opportunity you need in order to run away and continue the run in survival. In speedrunning, no, right?
in speedrunning, I don't use it very often. I usually just ignore it on the most cases. There's only some cases where it's useful. In particular, Minnesota, because the 2 enemies are very far apart. So I'll go and kill Team Fast and then special over to Houston and kill her.
Yeah, I was about to say, you could use the teleport to move you around the map much quicker in a speed run.
Unfortunately, that's its
potentially,
only use.
Yeah.
And even after that, you have to face an enemy with only 2 weapons instead of 3. So
Yeah, well, I mean,
if you
that's
still ha-
that happens a lot in vigilante speedruns anyway. Well, vigilante faction, excuse me, because of fucking items. So not always a downside. If you've got the right 2 weapons, you're usually fine anyway. But yeah, the iframes before you, right as you start the special, are definitely helpful as well. So it's like, no,
Yep.
fuck this shit, I'm out.
it also the iframes also go really well with what the character tries to do, both in survival and in multiplayer. He, like Padre himself, doesn't really have like his special by itself. It's more of a utility tool than anything else, but you can pretty much just pretend it doesn't exist in multiplayer and in survival because of how tanky Padre is. He doesn't have high speed, but he has high acceleration, and that gets him to like he can move around.
It gets to his top speed a lot faster. Yeah.
Yeah. So that allows him to move around the map a lot faster than someone like Convoy does. So that gives him decent mobility to move around the map. And since he has a lot of armor, he can take a lot of fights head on, both in survival and in multiplayer, and keep going and going and going and going. And especially on multiplayer, like when I don't know who to pick in multiplayer, I go Padre because he's just generically consistent. He's just generically good in multiplayer, but not because sadly
not because of his special. Yeah,
sadly not because of his special.
So is the armor more of a character thing than a special?
Yeah, the armor is more of a character thing.
Yeah, so
the special can help if you don't have it, like, but you're probably going to prefer to have a third weapon that isn't the special. Yeah. But if you have it, you can try and use its strong aspects, which is like getting out of fights or getting into fights. Like, for example, you can very easily abuse other people's specials. For example, or other situations. For example, you hear a magnet mine popping off in the background. You can try and guess who it is.
Yeah, who's stuck, and then immediately go to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. You can also abuse things like a Clyde special because if they don't die because of Clyde special, they're going to be thrown up in the air and not really be in control of their car, and you're probably going to be able to hit them. Someone like G-Man too, because G-Man is going to be pretty slow, and if he's eating the target, he's going to be moving slower, and Padre special is going to hit. If he's slamming someone, they're probably going to try and slam them again right afterwards. So you can probably hit the special if they're not paying attention to you, and decide to keep just going aggro. What else? You can pretty easily run away from Dave's saucers. You can run away from.
Can you get out of Bobo's special?
No, because you can only use his special when your wheels are touching the ground.
Yeah.
And
Bobo lifts you slightly off.
Yeah, exactly. And that also links to another bad aspect of his special. If you try and use it while you're midair, the cooldown is gonna apply, but the special is not gonna go off. So you're gonna be stuck for a very long time without a special.
Right. That's funny. I remember getting out of it in a magnet mine before.
Probably because the magnet mine, I think, might have been pulling you down. Like, you're still touching the ground, but Bobo does lift you up.
Yeah, you can run away from a magnet mine with a special, just not Bob's special.
Right.
So, like, I know you're watching my stream right now, so watch me. I'm going to be right up. I use it, and now it's on cooldown.
Right.
Because I use it midair. Let me try and do it again.
Yeah, that is not good. That was not meant to be.
Oh, now it goes off, but because I was touching the ground.
Yeah, I know. His definitely has one of the longer cooldowns as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Along with the fog, it's annoying.
Damage is not great. Whammy potential, great. But
it has a lot of utility.
A lot of utility. So it's definitely like C tier, I reckon.
Level wide, it's the only special I know that gives you invulnerability. For a certain amount of frames, it gets you in and out of trap. You can engage anybody you want, anywhere you want. It's pretty good, honestly, as a special goes.
Yeah. When it comes to...
I mean, it goes well with Padre, yeah. Like, you're able to pick your fights as a heavyweight. Like, that's a pretty powerful tool in its own right. But all things considered, yeah, I'd say probably high C, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna go.
Maybe low B.
You need to be pretty creative with it.
Yeah, the creativity-wise, that too. Last one. If you got nothing else to add to Padre. Where is he? The most forgettable character in Second Offense.
Sadly.
Who shares the same... Yeah, Dusty. Who shares the same name with my OC, funny enough. Good old Dusty
Sadly.
Yeah, Dusty Earth and his tribal magic. It's definitely a C for damage, B for range, and a C for ammo, because it's 3 like everybody else.
Right. It's easily confused, so you can do...
Yeah, it's a tracking weapon, so unfortunately it falls for tracking downfalls, so Halo decoys and jammers and Ninas.
It combos so well with with Missile Swarm.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting.
Add it to the list, the very long list of Missile Swarm potentials.
If I remember right, it'll also grab multiple enemies.
It can grab multiple,
It does.
If they hit each other, they're also causing damage to each other.
Sadly, it's only gonna follow one of them. So
usually the second one drops out.
Yeah, it works extremely well with because it holds them down while doing it and keeping them in range of all your other.
Yeah, the Magnet Mines is definitely another one. Plus, it's kind of dumb with Crater Makers. If you can get them to hit. I know I did have a bit of trouble with that synergy video.
Yeah, sadly, it doesn't have as much whammy potential as something like Clyde Special does, because it's kind of hard for some reason to get whammies with it. It doesn't work as consistently as we would expect it to.
Mm-hmm.
So the damage, you use a Missile Swarm, okay, a few of the hits are gonna whammy, but not all of them, sadly.
It's difficult to get it with a cannon as well. I know I had a lot of trouble trying to get cannon to work with the tribal magic.
Cannon for sure.
Sadly,
it's basically Boogie's special is what it is, except as a tornado.
Yeah, Boogie's but worse.
It boogies, but it's okay. It's more consistent and actually hitting a target.
Mm-hmm.
And
but lower whammy potential.
Really lower whammy potential, a lot lower damage. But it has one very specific, very strong utility in multiplayer, because I wanted to show it off, fucking Bob. What you can do is, if you hit someone with it, and you have mines, you can place yourself below your enemy, and once they're close to the ground, you hit them with the magnet mine and go away. And once the magnet mine is about to end, you hit them with the special, and then you loop that, and you just keep going on and on and on and on, and you're just stuck in the magnet mine. So, okay, something like this. I'm gonna try not to pull it off.
Yeah, I'm with you. Then you go again.
Then you go again and again. I got Rashid hit me with that, and I was playing G-Man. It lasted for 2 fucking minutes, and I died.
Yeah, that's actually an infinite. Jeez, yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to pseudo speedrunning, it's not that good because it doesn't whammy that well and doesn't have that much damage, and you only have 3 shots anyway. When it comes to multiplayer, it's also really good at pressuring people.
Mm-hmm.
Because you use it and then it has the same effect as Team Fast Special or Nina Special, something like that. And then for survival, it's because it's also not as good. It's not as good as in survival for the same reason. It's not as good against the pseudo speedrun context.
Yeah.
So its best application really, his best application really is just multiplayer.
So do we think low B or high C?
I would give it low B.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's
It's range
A and C are getting a bit full here, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's range and the fact that it comes in fairly stealth. Like, that bird is not the most noticeable thing.
Yeah, it's really hard to spot. Which is another thing with this game when it comes to multiplayer. It's really important to know what weapons your enemy is using, but you don't know that until you're decently close to them. So, like, you don't know if Clyde has a special or not until it's probably too late.
Too late, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't see them because the LOD models are not that detailed to save memory and rendering. But with the new, you could probably have some kind of display or render them all the way across screen.
But that's not up to me. That's not up to me.
That is not up to you. We'll see what happens with it. I hope it comes through.
All right. Yeah. We've gone through all of them. Do you think we've got enough time to order them exactly?
Can you show us how it is right now?
All right, let me
I really don't remember.
Share my screen for the tier maker. Zoom in a little bit. Nice big screen. So that in exact order, I've just chucked them in their correct tiers. I moved Dallas down one tier, so it's an even 5 for each of them.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, for D and S, it's not much of a contest.
Yeah.
So, we'll try and organize C tier at the very least.
Looking at C.
So we got G-Man, Obaki, Nina, Convoy, Padre.
So which one is the strongest? The leftmost or the rightmost?
Leftmost is strongest.
Okay. You can put Convoy all the way to the right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm joking. I honestly think his special is better than G-Man's for sure. His special is not better than Nina's, I would say. Let's see, Padre special.
Better or worse than Convoy?
Worse than Convoy. I would say. I think. Because Convoy is more of a CC tool and it's really good at that. Meanwhile, Padre has some unique utility that depends on creativity. Yeah,
I think Padre's better. Honestly, I think he's better because of the invulnerability.
Yeah, I think the invul and the creativity you can do with it, I think is definitely... Convoy's more of a fuck you denial kind of tool.
Now, I think it's a match, it's a contest between Nina and Obaki.
As the
because
highest
Obaki
in C tier.
Yeah. Honestly, think Nina's better. Do you agree?
So poor G-Man down here at the bottom of C tier.
I agree.
It's because honestly, okay, the damage on G-Man is really good. It's bad for multiplayer. It's okay for speed running. It's not that good for survival, but the damage is really good, much better than Convoys. But Convoys has 6 ammo out too, and not
I guess like I'm sort of looking at the damage alone. Right? You can sort of consider everything. I suppose G-Man does lack pretty much everywhere else, aside from damage and environmentals, which Convoy can do as well. So
I think Obaki's better than Nina. Now I'm looking at it because she also gets invulnerability when special, and it's offensive and defensive. Will hit multiple cars.
True, I gotta remember we're looking at the specials only here because I was about to say, but Nina has more health and mobility. Oh wait,
no.
Yeah, this is
specials only.
This is just specials.
Yeah,
this is just
specials only. Yeah,
and I think Nina is better because of how strong denying everybody's radar is. And it's also really good extended survival tool, and it can allow you to sometimes it can act as a pseudo shield, because if everybody only has tracking weapons, you're not going to get hit anyway.
Yeah, I think the big difference between the two is Abaki, it protects your, like, it affects yourself and only yourself. Nina fucks over everybody. That's the big difference between the two. And yeah, I think I like Nina more because of that.
Okay. That works. Yeah, I'm just thinking hers is, it only messes with seeking weapons, where you got straight fire weapons, you could still get her, and her weapon is very slow, and it's mainly defensive. Where Obaki
it doesn't have an offensive, yeah.
Defensive, she gets invulnerable, some iframes in there. She can hit multiple targets, unlike Nina, but it's very situational, so...
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah, the two of them are a bit of a toss-up, yeah. But
I think we can...
Pretty close.
I think this is fine.
Yeah, C
it's
tier
pretty
is
close.
fine.
Right.
You could also maybe create another C tier and just place the two on that, and just C plus and C minus. But honestly, I think this is fine. We already know
that's too much effort.
That's most,
Right.
effort, honestly.
I don't want to
To B,
complicate it.
getting to B.
He's definitely on the bottom.
I remember we made him we almost made him top of C, but he left him on the bottom of B because C was too cluttered. So yeah, keep him there.
I feel like Bobo and Sheila should switch places.
Do we
Yeah,
said these were both? Yeah, we did. Yeah, I like Bobo's special a lot more than Sheila's because whammy potential's a lot higher. Grab shenanigans.
Now, Dallas or Molo?
Well, Dallas, I think was like an A or B. Actually, no. Yeah, Dallas was low A and Molo was A or B, so.
Okay. That ranking looks good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I like Dallas' special more than I do Molo's. Fucking old me would hate me for saying that, but...
Well, because you got to use it in an interesting fight.
Yeah, like... the whammy potential and the shit you can do with Dallas's, plus the just pure destructibility of it is, I like a lot more than the Molo just sort of sitting on your face and killing you. Molo is just pure simplicity.
It's also a good defensive tool. Meanwhile, Dallas special makes him stand still. Standing still, both in multiplayer and survival, is bad.
Actually, yeah, I don't know if I do want to swap them.
Do you have to
I
stand
honestly think
still?
Molo is better. You do.
For Dallas, yeah.
Just stand.
Oh, I see. I thought you were talking Molo.
No.
Yeah,
Molo's got really good defensive capabilities too, yeah. And you made him handbrake turn, so...
Right. We left in the stall for him, right? For the second version?
Yeah, he still stalls. He's the only one that stalls in second offense, I'm pretty sure.
That's true, and
That's
that also
brutal.
Also the area denied on Molo. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
think
looks
he's
right.
better than Dallas.
Alright, I retract my previous statement.
Just because you become a sitting duck. With his
Yeah, I'm a
special.
sitting duck with the special, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Alrighty, time for
Yikes! This
this tier is going to be interesting.
Honestly, that looks about right to me. You could make the argument of moving Chase to the end, but I could also see him being at the beginning.
I put Chase up at the top of A tier specifically because he's the third of the soft bands. The rest I just sort of threw in there. They're in no particular order at the moment.
JT in your face.
I definitely like Chastity more than Team Fast, that's for certain.
Okay.
For both multiplayer and survival, I think Chassis is better than JT.
Yeah.
It's not,
JT's just more fun.
speedrunning.
That's why I just...
Yeah.
No, I think Chassis Special all around is definitely more balanced.
Because she has 6 ammo, decent damage, decent tracking, decent whammy potential. It's a hit and run weapon. It's just too good. Now Boogie's just he's just not that
He's
good
gotta
in
connect.
multiplayer.
Yeah, it's
gotta
really
connect.
difficult to get it connect, yeah. Like, it's probably easier to get Team Fasts to hit than it is for Boogie.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Yeah,
Looks fine to me.
This looks fine. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Now between-
I like JT Special a lot more than the other two tracking ones, just purely because like it's not tracking, so it doesn't get fucked over. Damage potential's insane. Whammy potential's also decently good. Great denial.
Yeah.
Again, just
And
simplicity
we got-
at its finest.
Yeah. And regarding the S tier, Houston, undeniably the best.
Yeah,
special.
like Houston's just arguably a lot better than Clyde's.
Six ammo. You can multitask during speed running. You shit fast during speed running. You're the biggest threat in multiplayer because you even inner shields. You can insta kill people in multiplayer because of how good it whammies, and you can farm infinite fucking wrenches with the special because you get 6 fucking ammo. It deals a lot of damage and
Yeah,
it really fucking well
disgusting in
with
survival.
boosts.
She's probably like the best
Yeah,
for survival, isn't she?
You remember that one 287 run kill run in survival I had with her?
Yeah, because
That just ended because my game crashed.
yeah.
All right, this looks good.
Yeah, that's definitely good.
Yeah.
Ugh. Cool, we got one half done.
This was 2 hours and a half. 2 hours and a half.
Yeah, I've been recording for about 2.5 hours, so
Do you?
All right.
Do you want to split? Do you want to like maybe release 2 videos instead of just making one 5-hour long video?
oh god, it'd be a nightmare to fucking edit. Yeah, I might have to maybe. Yeah. Well, for the video itself, like the highly edited tier list, that will be one video, obviously.
Uh-huh.
That'll be my magnum opus. But yeah, for the behind the scenes stuff, I think I'm definitely going to need to cut it down into specials and characters. And hopefully the background footage of me editing it should take me really fucking long to edit this, because it probably will, and that'll be longer than us talking.
I wish I could stay for longer, but I need to be up in 4 hours.
Yeah, no, it's very understandable.
Yeah.
Have a good day, everybody.
All right, gentlemen.
All right.
Already.